Tanzania. So, Daniel, the Energy Minister announcing this $43 million plan to subsidize retail fuel prices. But does that apply to all fossil fuels? And just as important, how will it be paid for?
Yes, Rama, thank you so much for having me. Indeed, Tanzanians have given a sign of relief after today, speaking in Parliament. The Minister for Energy, January Makamba, revealed that, yes, the government is going to spend $43 million to subsidize fuel. And of course, he was referring to all fuel, petrol, diesel, and kerosene. Now, of course, this comes after President Samia Suluhu Hassan had an emergency meeting recently, I think it was yesterday, held at the State House to address this fuel challenge that is really affecting citizens. The government has not yet explained exactly how this $43 million will be spent, but it will be, of course, aimed at reducing the cost of fuel for citizens. You touched on the point of starting June 1st, and this is because the minister says there's already fuel entrepreneurs who have already paid for fuel costs at this May price. So they want to make sure that people who had spent money to buy fuel in bulk, also petrol stations already purchased fuel at the current price, will be able to finish their stock, and once come June 1st, they'll be able to buy at this new reduced cost. So we don't know yet. But also you asked about how the cost will be absorbed, who will be paying for it. The government says it already has, by meeting the finance minister yesterday and the energy minister and other key ministers, they've been able to restructure the budget and government spending plans, and they've cut certain costs to ensure that they have this now balance of 43 million to put into the fuel solution.
Right then. Okay. So the fact is, though, Daniel, crude oil prices up around 50% so far in the year. Next fiscal year for Tanzania starts in the month of July. So if I just, annualize that $43 million spend that we're looking at a $500 million bill, assuming everything else remains constant, on fuel subsidies between July 2022 and June 2023. Is that something that Tanzania can afford?
Well, Rama, the exact spending plans for the next coming year have not been revealed. But what you know is that the government is also in the process of securing loans from the International Monetary Fund, the IMF, as well as the World Bank to sort of offset any possibility of the rising fuel prices in the next fiscal year. The government also plans to allow more private oil companies to import fuel directly as a measure sort of to stabilize this sector. It also wants to establish a fuel price stabilization fund to cushion customers who would otherwise keep suffering the way that is happening now. It also has set up a large fuel depot, which is called the National Strategic Petroleum Reserve, to ensure that the country would have stock of fuel in case the challenge continues. The country, as it stands, has fuel for the next 27 days, and the minister hopes that once all these plans are put into place, maybe next year there might not be as serious needs to look for funding or to sort of get into deep serious loans. So this is the way that the government is trying to ensure that as it deals with the problem now, next year they're ahead of the curve and ensure that, one, scarcity of oil and fuel in the country does not happen, but also more importantly, that it doesn't get into deeper debts because of poor planning.